Okay.
Oh yeah.
Crap.
Get your ass back down. Oh my gosh. Dummy. You didn't take your heads?
No, I did not. I thought I could reach. I could not reach. And I just made a mess on my floor. That's awesome.
Hooray.
That's amazing. Okay, now I'm ready.
Hey, it's not nearly as bad as the mess that was on my floor, believe me. Rice and milk everywhere. All right. Starting to record. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Not the Worst Podcast, episode 15. I am JD, and I am joined by my co-host, Anthony. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
It's going, they say. Everybody says. Okay.
All in unison, too.
Yep, that's right. So one quick thing for the intro that I have is well, by the time you hear this on the podcast, it won't be tomorrow, but June 25th is Cyberpunk Day. Cyberpunk 2077 is doing its first big gameplay reveal on June 25th, so you will want to turn into that. It's going to be on Twitch. You'll probably find it on YouTube and stuff like that too. Follow them on Twitter if you want to know more. But since that's like the most anticipated game of the year, it'll be really interesting to see that.
Didn't it get delayed again?
Yeah, it's delayed till September. This is the time that the first delay, I think, was supposed to have it come out. So they're kind of, giving you a little taste of the action.
Oh, okay.
Wetting your whistle, as it were.
Getting you all excited about it to maybe give you something to pass the time.
I'm halfway there. Yep.
Oh, yeah. To make up for all the time they hurt your
It's a child podcast. You weirdo.
Child podcast?
What?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Okay, fine. I'm going to go into my intro thing. I got actually two things. A lot of you may not care about this one. JD may care a little bit because he likes RTSs. But Iron Harvest is out by, it's not by Warhorse Studios. Warhorse Studios helped with it, which are the same people that did KC, Kingdom Come Deliverance. It is a real-time strategy in an alternate World War II universe. It's got steampunk like mechs and stuff. So I played it real quick. Pretty demanding, pretty punishing, but I want to dig into it a little bit more. I think they need to work on optimizing it a little bit. My computer struggled with frame rates a lot with it, but that's not too bad. And the other thing is, I don't know if you guys remember when we talked about Build the Earth on Minecraft. They are actually starting to do tutorial video series. So if you get into the server to help with building, they give you tips and tricks to make your building experience easier for making sure you get everything to scale and smooth out the process so you're not getting frustrated and struggling while you're doing it. So if you guys are interested in helping with Build the Earth, check out the Twitter. I'll have it in the description when I post this up on YouTube. Just look for Build the Earth Minecraft on Twitter or Google Build the Earth. But I'll have the link below. So if you guys are interested and don't want to deal with the heartache and frustration of trying to figure it out on your own, they're starting video series to help people figure this out. So they've done some pretty cool stuff already. But cool. That's all I got for the intro. I literally just saw that when I was tweeting. So
okay, let's jump into our topics. First topic is The Last of Us Part 2. There's a lot we could talk about with The Last of Us Part 2. But we're not going to focus on some of the more controversial stuff. We're going to talk about an interesting thing that they have added to The Last of Us Part 2, the accessibility features. If you don't know what I'm talking about with that, I am talking about all of the people out there that can't play video games or struggle to play video games because they have either some sort of deformity, maybe they have vision problems or hearing problems or only one arm, things like that. Obviously, that's going to limit how they can play video games, how good they can be at them. But The Last of Us Part 2 is being considered as one of the more accessible video games ever made because they have something like 60 odd settings for accessibility that allow you to adjust pretty much every aspect of the game to make it as accessible as possible for people with, and they even consulted on like streamers that play with these sorts of disabilities and asked them what would help them in a game like this. So there's things like if you have vision impairment, or there was one person in particular in the article, his vision blurs occasionally, and so that makes it hard for him to follow a scene. So the accessibility options can like highlight important things that he needs to see as he's walking around. There's obviously there's like colorblind features, and then there's even like combat features. You can turn auto aim on or off or adjust it to help you while you're fighting and things like that.
I'm gonna assume the
So
auto aim is gonna be more drastic, like than FPS first person shooters is gonna be like
right.
over exaggerated to help them out with it.
Yeah, because even on PlayStation, which is the only console that has Last of Us Part 2, controllers always have auto aim anyway. So I
Yeah.
think the idea here is, yeah, that it's like even more that it's just kind of going to walk you through the game, the combat. And there's definitely, and obviously that was just one of the many things to help with combat. You don't have to do the auto aim, you could do other stuff. But it's interesting because we're only seeing recently a big push for disability gaming, right? Like, have you seen the Microsoft controller for disabled gamers?
I didn't
It's
even
like
hear
this,
about the micro.
it's like this big controller pad. It doesn't look like the regular Xbox One controller. It looks like a big square, and it's got big circles on it so that you can control it if you don't have great motion with your fingers or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's got easy to use buttons and things like that. So that just came out in the last few years, and that was a huge deal for people like that. And then a lot of games have started adding more and more features, but none of them have added as much as The Last of Us Part 2. And I think that's awesome. Whatever you think of the game, I mean, obviously people have their opinions on the game, but to be able to give people a chance to play is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. When I went to high school, I went to school with a guy with cerebral palsy, and I can't remember how it's defined, but my wife, she was telling me that there's actually two types of cerebral palsy that I did not know about. One is like over tension of the muscles, so like it causes like the hooking of a hand, and so they can't really straighten their hand out. And another one is like an over relaxing on the muscles, and so they can't really move the hand as well as possible. So these features are going to help people out a lot, overcome these issues and be able to get. He played video games. He played even Halo when it first came out, and he did his own. It wasn't easy for him. He had to hold the controller to his lap and use one hand to control the left and right on joystick, and the other hand did everything else. But it's interesting. It makes sense that gaming developers and companies are getting into more accessibility, either in the video games or with their peripherals. I actually just heard on another podcast not that long ago about another guy that I can't remember. I think he's had cerebral palsy. I could be wrong. I don't want to misquote him. But he talked about how he was told ever since he was 3 he'll never have full function of his hand again, and his mom literally gave him a gaming console and said, here, play this for so many hours a day. And he says he pretty much has full control of his hand now for the most part. I don't know the extent of it, but he said he's excited because he owes a lot to gaming for him to develop that strength and muscle memory to be able to use his hands better than most people would with his condition. So with developers doing things like this, it's going to help people with these disabilities to be able to overcome it. And maybe even like we saw with the ADHD thing, where their games are being used to help treat people's conditions and symptoms. So obviously a lot of these things aren't going to cure people, but anything to help them overcome. And even if it's not to really help them overcome and do better in everyday life, but at least let them enjoy a hobby that they love without struggling as much. So it's exciting.
Cool. And one of the things. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, hopefully more developers follow the suit with Last of Us 2. And like I said, regardless of the controversies and how you may or may not feel about what happened in Part 2, that's still exciting that they went out and started to make more headway in that area. So,
and I think one of the aspects of this that it's going to open up future games to add more things. Because one of the things they talk about in the article is like there's this Courtney Craven is the editor of a website called Can I Play That, and it basically judges a game based on its accessibility, and like they rated a game really low because it didn't have any subtitles, so people who couldn't hear couldn't follow the dialogue because it has no subtitles, things like that. But she said that one of the interesting things about The Last of Us 2 is that most games have something, right? They have subtitles, or they have vision impairment stuff, colorblind correcting kind of things. But very few games, and she said none of them have had everything like The Last of Us Part 2 has. So the fact that they've done that means that this is a template that other people can follow. You know, they can use what The Last of Us did here to do that. Because part of the reason I would assume that they don't put all this stuff in there is that it's a lot of work, a lot of hard work, and it probably doesn't pay off for them in the end. But if it's easier now because these guys did it, and maybe they can help other people do it, then maybe we see a lot more of it. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's exciting. So it'd be good to see that everybody should be able to play video games and enjoy it. So the fact that this is going to make it more available for other people that may struggle with certain disabilities to enjoy it, because a lot of them can't go out and do physical things in the real, not I was gonna say real world, but in the regular daily life like we can. So video game is pretty much the only hobby they may have, so they get to enjoy it more now.
Yeah, great. All right, let's move on to the next topic. This one's a little more controversial, I think.
Yeah.
Mixer. Poor Mixer. Poor Microsoft Mixer is shutting down. It hasn't shut down yet. It's shutting down in July, but it has sold itself off to Facebook Gaming, basically. And that sucks. That sucks for a lot of reasons, but it really sucks for people who streamed on Mixer and were making money off of it, earning income off of it, because now they have to make a choice, right? They have to choose where they're going to go next. They could go to Facebook Gaming, who is apparently giving like $2,500 as a signing bonus for people who choose to join them. But at the same time, Facebook demands control over all of the data from your stream, and they make people sign an NDA to do it, which is ridiculous.
And Facebook is involved with a lot of social media controversies right now. How many times has Mark Zuckerberg come before Congress because of some issues they have with him, like data mining, or at least the website data mining? So an NDA to get data from people's streams may be a little not cool, to say the least.
So that's definitely got to be a hard decision to make for some of these guys. I'm sure they could use a quick 2,500, in some cases, especially smaller streamers. But I wouldn't go to Facebook Gaming. If I were one of them, I would go back to Twitch, because even if you're not going to make that sign-in bonus, your Facebook Gaming is not nearly the same size as Twitch. Mixer wasn't even as big as Twitch, and Facebook Gaming isn't as big as Mixer, even after buying it. So I would definitely go back to Twitch personally, but
or at least go, if you really don't want to go back to Twitch because you either burn bridges or you feel like they burn bridges with you, then you got YouTube Gaming. I'd rather go back, or YouTube streaming, and I'd rather stream on YouTube than that. But that's me personally. If you want to go to Facebook Gaming, knock yourselves out. They do offer incentives, but me personally, I'm with JD on this one. I couldn't stream on Facebook. I used to post my videos on Facebook. Now I just add links to my YouTube because I'm not even going to post my videos on Facebook anymore. So
yeah. So, and then, this sucks for other reasons too, in that, what's I saying? Like, competition breeds innovation, right? Like, Mixer was doing stuff, making moves, putting itself out there. It pulled away Ninja, the largest streamer in the history of streamers, and Shroud, who's another really big streamer. He was on Mixer, paid them millions of dollars to come stream for them. It even pulled away Smite for a year. I know nobody cares about Smite except for me, but they paid Smite like $8 million or something to make all their competitive scene on Mixer, and that kind of stuff forced Twitch's hand. Twitch ended up starting doing contracts with its big streamers to keep them there and paying them money, which is great. It's great for the streamer, So that kind of competition, that kind of somebody nipping at your heels, pushes even if Mixer was never as big as Twitch, it was pushing Twitch to make changes. And without that, there's nothing stopping Twitch from doing whatever they want.
I mean, they were able to pull somebody as big as Ninja away from Twitch. So, I mean, they were getting after Twitch. And I thought, hey, Mixer, I mean, I've played with the idea of going to Mixer. I was thinking with them like going. It was Shroud and Flint or Ninja. I think were the two biggest ones. I think they pulled more, didn't they? But those two were the bigger ones.
Yeah, those are the two I just said.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
wow.
Sorry, I was just reading because there's something in this blog post that makes no sense to me. But I'll get into that after we're done talking about the part of the competition. But I personally was hoping Mixer would step it up. I wasn't hoping Mixer would crush Twitch and destroy it and make Twitch go away. I was just hoping for another platform that was a viable option.
Yeah, I agree. It would have been nice to have like two nearly equivalent platforms that you could choose between, and that they would like push each other to be better platforms.
And some people, maybe there's some things like Mixer offered that suited people's abilities and schedules easier than Twitch would, and Twitch would appeal to another certain crowd, and that's always a good thing, because not everybody likes being on Twitch, and that, I mean, I don't blame them to have something like Mixer in the mix. I mean, funny, Mixer in the mix. But obviously, there were still people that enjoyed Mixer, because ever since the announcement, I've been seeing tweets all day about people being upset that everything they put into Mixer is gone and going to be gone now, and they had a community, they had a following. I have also seen people from the Twitch community reach out and say, hey, start posting, if you're coming over to Twitch, start posting, or they didn't even say Twitch, they just start posting your streaming links down below. So even if they decided to go to Facebook Gaming. So people from the Twitch community were trying to help with the Mixer community that took a big hit from that. People in the Mixer partner program are going to get the better deal from all this, but people who haven't quite reached that yet, they have to start from scratch now, essentially.
Yeah.
And no matter
that's a real problem, because no matter what happens, you're going to lose viewers. Like everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was
It doesn't matter whether you have 5 viewers or 10 million. If you switch from one platform to the other, you're probably going to lose like half of them. And that really sucks, especially for the smaller streamers. They're going to have to work a lot harder to recover that, especially if it's their income. Yeah.
Because you're going to have people that are like, you know what, I'm not switching over to Twitch, and the viewers just not going to put in the end. It's as simple as people being lazy. Like, I really don't feel like creating a whole new account to follow you on Twitch, or even if they already have an existing account on Twitch, like, not worth it. I'm not going to do it. I mean, even Ninja lost a lot of viewers when he went from Twitch to Mixer, because he actually hurt a lot of people's feelings. I saw so many hurt people on Twitter but it's, I mean, in his defense,
people are weirdly loyal to companies and corporate names. Like, I don't understand that at all. If you like Ninja, go watch Ninja. Who gives a crap what platform he's on? It drives me nuts. I don't understand that loyalty to Twitch. Like, what's Twitch do? Twitch isn't anything. Twitch is nothing. It's the personality that you're watching that you care about. It's weird to me.
It's not like he still played Fortnite, and he still had the crazy hair. Nothing changed about him. He was still him on Mixer. And the only thing that really changed for him personally is he's getting $35 million for the Switch. But,
well, but let's talk about that, because I'm pretty sure that dude was sitting pretty when he learned that Mixer was shutting down, because now he gets all that money and he can go back to Twitch and start building up his subscriber base again, making him even more money. Like, I'd be pretty excited if I was coming off one of those contracts.
And that's another thing. I mean, the benefit for Ninja, I'm fairly certain Twitch, if he said, hey, Twitch, I'm coming back. Last time I checked, he's still deciding what he wants to do. I guarantee if he said, I'm coming back to Twitch, they're like, yeah, here you go. They're going to probably act like he never left. I think his account was only suspended. I don't think they ever deleted it. So, and I saw somebody tweet the other day saying his profile was updated on Twitch to say he plays Fortnite and Valorant. So, and it didn't say that before. It just said Fortnite, because he's a Fortnite streamer. So maybe he's already made his decision to come back to Twitch, and it's gonna.
Dude, if I were him, I would take that money and run. I'd be like, once that contract from Mixer is paid out, and it's at least $10 million. I don't think we know the exact number.
Yeah,
we don't know if it's paid out in full or if it's going to be paid out based on the time he spent there, but it's at least $10 million. Like, take a break. Take like a year off. Go see the world. Go buy a car. Like, do you need the stress of streaming when you have at least $10 million and probably a lot more based on your history?
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be very loyal to his wife, and so take that time off, enjoy some time with your wife, go out and go on a trip or something. But
go make a baby, go do something.
Yeah,
like get out. You don't need $10 million to live the rest of your life comfortably. So just do it.
Unless you're an idiot and you cannot maintain your money very well. But
well, that's true. And there are a lot of idiots in the world, and most of us play video games. So,
there you go.
Hard to say.
Now, unfortunately, for people that are not like Ninja, who can it probably was frustrating to him, but he can literally brush this off his shoulders and continue on with his life, no matter what he decides. But for everybody else that's smaller, I was reading up what Facebook Gaming is offering to Mixer partners, and it's good. It's going to help out the Mixer partners if they're really willing to make that switch. This is directly from the Facebook blog page. The thing that I don't get is number 5. They talk about the 5 things that are going to be exclusive to partners on Facebook Gaming, and that's for either if you earn partnership through Facebook Gaming just by streaming on Facebook Gaming, or you were a partner on Mixer and it got transferred over to Facebook Gaming. Some of it makes sense, like early access to new streaming features and tools. Obviously, you're going to want your top streamers to test them out before you release it to the general public. That makes sense. Direct line of feedback to the product and engineering team. I guess that kind of makes sense. Partner only invites to Facebook gaming events also makes sense. Twitch kind of does that too. I mean, TwitchCon has kind of been made bigger and more open to everybody, but the affiliates or the partners tend to get specialized treatment and invites, which again makes sense. They get to monetize, also makes sense. That's how any other partner program works. But this one really does not make sense to me. Number 5, access to Facebook support team. So you're telling me if I'm not a partner and I have issues with my stream, I can't contact Facebook support to get it fixed? Or are they saying they have a direct line of access instead of like submitting a trouble ticket? They don't. All it says is we're in this together, so we want to make sure you get the support you need from the Facebook gaming team, and as well as all our customized support sites. So like, maybe this is poorly worded or I missed it, but to me it sounds like the only way to get access to Facebook support is to be a partner. That makes no sense at all. Why would they do that?
Or they're just saying that you will have access to that. Are they saying that it's exclusive to partners?
The paragraph before they start listing above it, listing the benefits, it says all Facebook gaming partner benefits become Mixer partner benefits include, and then they list those 5 things.
No, I mean maybe it is something like you said, like a direct line instead of just
doing
like
a trouble ticket
form or something. Yeah, because
that would make
Smite
sense.
does that. Smite gives their streamers like a direct way to report bad behavior and stuff like that. So it's probably something like that. But
I mean, Twitch partners do have more direct line to the Twitch staff. You hear all the time talk about, oh, I talked to so-and-so for Twitch staff and they said this is okay or this is not okay or I'm getting this resolved. That I understand. And maybe that's what Facebook Gaming is trying to say, but I really hope that's what they're saying, because if they're hoping to pull people over and take over, and those who weren't partner, I'm not going to say like, oh, I don't get support because I'm not a partner. I have to earn that. But it benefit of the doubt, and the likely answer is that you just have a more direct access. You don't have to submit an email. You don't have to do a trouble ticket. You probably have specialized access to the support team. So, then I guess they're talking about other opportunities though. They're working with the Xbox ecosystem, including future opportunities with around Xbox Game Pass, Project X Cloud, and more. So I guess, I mean, they're still going to have a direct tie to Microsoft with a lot of this stuff. I don't know if all this was available on Mixer or Microsoft was thinking about doing it with Mixer, but now the mergers happen to say we're not doing it for Mixer anymore, but we'll just go ahead and continue for Facebook. So I don't know what that's about. They say we're inviting all streamers from Mixer's open monetization program to Level Up program. I don't know what the open monetization, I guess that's different for partner. Maybe it's their version of affiliate, where people can still give you bits and subscribe, but you didn't have like more monetization options like you would with partners. So maybe that's what they mean with that. But it's a shame. when I heard about it, it actually shocked me. JD messaged me about it, and I was like dumbfounded that actually happened. Because I know Mixer wasn't as big as Twitch, but I didn't realize it was doing that bad.
I don't think it was doing bad. I think they sold it.
Facebook made them an offer, and
I think Facebook made them an offer, and they took it. Yeah, I think they just. It seemed like, you know, at some point something that might have been actually doing really well, and maybe it got so big they were tired of it. I don't know that it was doing bad. I didn't see any indication that they were like going to go under or something. I think they literally sold it because Facebook wanted to take advantage of the platform and the access to those partners. Because it doesn't make sense to me that they would offer Ninja so much money and then be gone a year later. Like, it's only been a year into that contract, and that was one of the largest contracts I've ever seen for a streamer.
It is. So, it's a bigger contract than some sports stars. So
yeah. So I'm pretty sure they were doing fine. I think they just didn't want to do it anymore. And that sucks.
Especially because nobody got warning. It came out of nowhere. I didn't hear anything about
really
this.
Did. Like, when I saw it actually in the regiment Discord. Somebody posted a picture. I'm like, did I miss this? I went on vacation like a week ago. So maybe this came out then, and he's like, no, this is just like a minute ago. I'm like, what? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Yeah.
And there are a few regiment members, I think, that did do Mixer. I think most of them are Twitch streamers if they stream. But it shocked them regardless of Mixer or not. One thing I do see, this is weird. Facebook gaming / Mixer is only available on desktop at the moment, so I guess there's no cell phone apps like Twitch would have. I don't know if Mixer had cell phone apps.
Mixer did. They sucked.
Did it?
I used them, but it was crap.
And then I know
it didn't like automatically adjust based on your connection, so it would just like stop if your connection went bad or something like that. I hated that. It was the worst. Didn't make any sense for a mobile app. Anyway, yeah, that is weird that Facebook gaming is only on desktop.
And then I know Mixer was also, obviously because it's Microsoft, Xbox had a Mixer app so you can easily stream from your console. So I'm curious how that's going to work. Are people going to have to, in the beginning stages, have to use capture cards to stream from Xbox now? Because not everybody does that. They usually use the straight app. I remember when I first started on Twitch, I streamed straight from the Twitch app on Xbox. So.
Yeah, from what I've heard from other streamers is that you should always be using a capture card anyway, because it's the only way to get it to like 1080p or whatever.
It's better quality. It makes it easier for you too. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they replace that with. Maybe they'll offer some better Twitch integration. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. And even another thing with capture cards, unless there's a backdoor way I'm not aware of to get your layouts for your streams, you have to use a capture card because you need like Streamlabs or OBS or something like that to be able to build your layouts and notifications. So as far as I know, I mean, when I started working on my layouts, it was after I went to PC, so it didn't matter either way. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a huge learning curve. Facebook may become a streaming juggernaut or maybe stayed the way it's always been. I know there's a lot of people. I've heard a few people say there's no way on earth they're going to Facebook gaming, and I don't blame them. Like JD said earlier, there's a lot of reasons why you should probably not want to go there. The NDA alone is kind of concerning. Twitch doesn't make you sign an NDA.
No. They do the exclusivity agreement, but that's not a big deal. That makes sense. They just want you on their platform. But an NDA is crazy because you can't talk about Facebook gaming then. You can't say anything bad about them, or you lose your partnership, and I don't know. Have you ever heard of King Gothalion?
No, I've never heard of that person.
Apparently that was one of the other big streamers that Mixer pulled, and he says he's committed to going to Facebook gaming.
They must have offered him something.
Yeah, must have. I don't know who that is. I've never watched Gothalion or know who he is, but
what is? Does it say
a big
what
deal
he plays?
if he's a big gamer. No, it doesn't say anything about what he plays. It just says that I just looked on his Twitter. It doesn't have anything in his bio about what he plays or anything. But I mean, he has like 300,000 followers on Twitter, so that's a pretty big deal. If there's at least one big streamer that goes to Facebook gaming and they can
use him to promote it.
Way. Yeah.
Another thing I was thinking about, I don't know everybody's opinion, and Dr. Disrespect, he did a video about the merger, and he he made a good point. A lot of people are making fun of Mixer for crashing because what JD was talking about, the business or the platform loyalty that people have, where it's Twitch or nothing kind of feeling. A lot of people are making fun of Mixer because it crashed. Well, another thing a lot of people don't realize, and I'm curious how this went down, not every Mixer employee is going to go to Facebook Gaming. A lot of them are going to get laid off. So there's a lot more people that just lost their job in a time that we're already struggling in the job market. And I'm hoping they didn't do, what was that? Crap, that story we did a while ago about Kerbal Space Program where they kind of found out the Friday before through, hopefully they didn't do something like that. With how sudden this is, I wouldn't be surprised if some of these employees found out last minute and didn't know.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when the news first dropped, it said the operations team was gone. So those people, I'm pretty sure, just got immediately laid off. I don't know if they knew about it long before any of us knew, but yeah, it doesn't look good. And it's really bad during a pandemic for sure.
It's a pretty negative outlook. My guess is they didn't know because it would have been leaked. It wouldn't have happened all of a sudden like it did. We would have heard something from somebody if they knew. Yeah. So they had little to no warning about this happening. I bet that's my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong.
Could be wrong, but yeah, it does seem pretty shady with the way that went down. It's not a good time to be getting the sudden news that you're getting laid off. Like, that's not cool.
Not at all.
Even the blog. I mean, the partner program is not ending until July 22nd or something like that. So maybe they're keeping the operations team on until then. That could be. And that's
hopefully. Yeah, it gives them at least a month or so to try to find something. And I'm sure Facebook took some of them in. I guarantee. But most times when companies merge, they do not keep all the employees. Whoever is usually the bot purchasing company generally lets go the bot company.
Right. So. And that's why they're all leaving. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out. I mean, there have been stories coming out about mismanagement at Mixer, so maybe
it's possible.
It's part of it.
I mean, it is Microsoft after all, so it wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah. All right. Are we going to this topic?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we can probably keep talking about it, but yeah, I think we covered it pretty well.
Definitely funny to talk about there. But let's move on. You can introduce the next one since it's your baby.
Yeah, and the reason why it's my baby, JD has heard me complain about this over and over again. I'm pretty excited about this. Now, there's obviously some concerns, which we'll get into, but I'm pretty SpaceX, Elon Musk. I had no clue this was going on. It's apparently been going on for a couple of years now. Has been setting up what's called Starlink, which is a satellite-based internet company, essentially. And they have, I lost it. Crap. It was like, I think over 3,000 satellites in orbit already.
300.
Let's see. Yeah, 100. They got several. Nope. Oh no. Okay, so they have permission to launch 12,000 satellites. How many of those 12,000? I can't remember. I think JD might be right. It might be 300. Though I thought I saw something about at least 1,000. Oh crap! Did I just close everything? But
You're You're doing great.
I'm doing amazing. So my first topic to introduce tonight, and I'm flopping it so hard. They have already launched about 58 satellites this year, and they're about to launch another 58 sometime this week. It's actually, I think, supposed to happen today or yesterday, but weather delayed it. Kind of like with the
360 Starlink satellites in orbit.
Okay, there you go. So they haven't hit the 1,000 mark, but they got another 58 going up sometime this week. I believe it was supposed to go up yesterday, but weather's kind of crazy, so they had to delay it. And Elon Musk's goal is to get gigabit speed internet to every person. Gigabit.
Gigabit is the data. Gigabit is the speed.
Okay, sorry. Gigabit internet. Thank you, buddy. That's why you're here. You're not just here for good looks. You're here to keep me straight.
That's right.
Gigabit speed internet to everybody in the world. A lot of you who are in either my brother's situation or my situation. My brother is more hindered. He's got Comcast, and I don't think he struggles real bad. His internet is garbage. So the fastest he can get for upload speeds is 10 megabytes. Ugh. Yeah, he can't get above that at all.
I'll never go back to Comcast. Comcast was the worst. I won't go back.
Well, the sad thing was his company didn't belong to Comcast. Comcast bought them, and so he had no choice. And there's nothing else in his area unless he wants to do DSL. And nobody wants to do DSL anymore. Nobody. We had our own struggles with DSL in Japan. That we had to have
a whole new kind of struggle. That was a special struggle.
It was. We couldn't host each other. No matter what game we played, we could not host each other. They didn't
have variable IPs. So literally we were all technically the same internet, basically. So we couldn't see each other. Our computers couldn't even identify each other. Yeah, that was so dumb.
We had like when we played Call of Duty, we had Marines on Okinawa host the matches just so we could play together. But yeah, and then in my area, it's not as bad. I do have gigabit internet here, so it's not horrible for me. But my company is Cox, and I absolutely hate Cox, and that's COX before I get in trouble.
Hate Cox?
Yeah, I absolutely hate Cox.
I love Cox.
Not touching that one.
Conversation ever.
Cox Internet.
I'm needed
elsewhere. This company, yes, it offers fast speeds. They brag about how it's amazing, but like I'm paying for 940 megabytes per second. I average 380. I hardly ever see anywhere near that 940 I'm paying for. Luckily, it's on sale, so I'm not paying full price. That's the only reason why I switched. It's just absolute trash. The customer service is horrible. They have outages all the time. I hated them when I was in Virginia. I was so happy when I switched to Fios with Verizon, because I mean, it's crap. What is it? Fiber optics. It's more stable. It's more consistent, and the uploads and downloads match, don't they?
I want to do a little John Ralphio for you and just be like, I have Verizon Fios.
Dick. So yeah, JD gets to deal with Fios.
We moved into this house. When we were moving, I told my realtor Verizon Fios is a priority. We will literally not move into a house with Comcast. We picked our house based on the internet availability, and it has been it's great. It has failed a couple times, but
it happens. So it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but see, like a cable modem could get dragged down just by traffic, right? Like if it's 6 p.m. and everybody's home from work and everybody's getting on, your cable modem's just going to naturally slow down. Fios doesn't have that problem.
With the case of COVID, everybody's trapped at home. People get into streaming. Yeah. People are Skyping. People are doing conference calls with their jobs. And Cox is a cable internet. That's why I can't get above 380, because I'm sure everybody and their mother's on at the same exact time as me, and it's lagging down my times or my speeds. I have nobody else to go to. There are other local internet companies, but I think their download speeds are only 10 megabytes per second. They don't go above that. That's horrible.
It is. That's pretty bad. Yeah. It's like old people internet.
Yeah. I'm going to have to, in order for me to get something like Verizon, I will have to move almost an hour away from my job. I'm not willing to do that. But something like Starlink, we kind of got off the beaten path because I went on my own little range.
When did we stop talking about Starlink? Did you know they have satellites in orbit?
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Starlink already has over 360 satellites in orbit. It's low orbit too. I don't think it's
right. It has to be. Yeah, it has. Yeah. It's not even like. I mean, it's low enough that you can see the satellites in the sky if you live in certain places.
I know. I'm sure it's gonna get real easy seeing with 12,000 satellites in space.
Yeah. In fact, I think I remember Ninja tweeting about this. We were talking about Ninja earlier. I think he tweeted a picture that he thought was UFOs, and somebody's like, "Those are just the Starlink satellites, dude." And they're like, "Oh, okay."
I remember Ninja tweeting about the UFOs. I never saw the response to it. So
that was the Starlink satellites that he was just happened to see glowing in the sky. Isn't that funny?
That's
That's
gonna
how
so
low they
you
are.
have
You can see them with the naked eye. Like, I mean, you'd have to be somewhere where there's not a lot of light and not a
yeah.
lot of cloud coverage, but yeah, you can see them. It's crazy.
So UFO sightings may go up as
Right.
Elon launches more of these things. Um, the the fascinating thing about this, beta testing is already available. They're in select areas. In fact, when you go to Starlink.com, if you go to Starlink.com, the first thing you see is to sign up for a newsletter to be notified for updates in your area. And they ask for your zip code. So, because select areas of the United States have already got beta codes. Parts of Europe, London is one of them, is starting beta testing. Elon Musk is this dude we talked about in the past with many other of his projects. He's a big dreamer. By 2020, he wants to a lot of the United States not beta testing the internet anymore, but actually being customers to Starlink. And then 2021 is when he wants Europe, or he's by 2021 actually. It's not just Europe. He wants the globe to have access to Starlink by the 2021. So he's planning. It sounds like maybe once a month they're going to launch about 58 satellites.
And that's the thing with satellites. Like, you can't just half-ass a satellite, right? You do have like some geosynchronous satellites, and that's where we get like GPS or stuff like that. But in order to make Starlink work, you have to have satellites all across the world, and and by definition, that makes it accessible all across the world. It's very interesting, and it's a very unique idea because it kind of reminds me of when Google tried Google Fiber. Remember that? And Google was trying to do the old school way of laying fiber, where they would go into a city and basically dig the trenches. And they did it in a few cities, and it took off for a while there, and it was really nice. It was the same thing, gigabit Ethernet for, like $80 a month. And in some places it still exists and it's still popular, but they just kept running into red tape after red tape after red tape. They couldn't get the fiber laid. They had to like dig in public places or whatever, and they hit a brick wall and they decided it wasn't worth the trouble and they stopped. So the idea that you can, and Google wanted to unite the country, kind of like Elon Musk is talking about, where give everybody accessible and affordable internet. So the fact that Musk is trying to do this through satellites is kind of cool.
Yeah,
interesting.
I had no clue about it because I knew about SpaceX, I knew about Tesla, I knew about his boring company, I knew about him wanting to be the first person to colonize Mars. I don't think he physically wants to go to Mars, but he wants his company to be the first one to put people on Mars. So this guy, now he's getting into the internet game, and it's actually, if this works, now my concern is like with cable TV, when you have a bad storm, you're out until that storm's gone. So
satellite TV, you mean?
Yes, I'm sorry, satellite TV. So I'm sure cable TV sometimes too, but yeah, mainly satellite TV.
For different reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my grandpa had satellite TV and it was the worst. Like, I hated going to his house because he only got like 3 channels and they were all fuzzy all the time. But I mean, that was a different era of satellite TV. So we'll have to see how this new one works. Cause yeah, if your internet can be taken, like, our internet here on the ground can be taken out by storms, right? And high traffic. So I would have to imagine that internet's even more susceptible to cloud coverage, and that's a problem.
They didn't really, even on the Starlink website, I didn't see a whole lot about the capacity and capabilities as far as what can and cannot possibly take it down. Obviously, they lose a satellite like an asteroid or something, but it's supposed to have autonomous collision avoidance, but computers fail too. They say it removes human error, but they still fail. Right. Now, like, if this works, like, this would be huge for people like us in the military. Like, I just found out today there's a chance I'm going to deploy soon, and where I'm going to deploy, I guarantee I'm going to have crappy internet. So even if I want to Skype with my wife, it's going to be a pain in the butt to do because the internet is going to be trash, and everybody and their mother on that base is going to want to Skype their wife. Or significant other.
I might be one of the few people on Earth that actually knows what it's like to use satellite internet, because that's what you use when you're stationed on a ship and it deploys into the ocean, because you don't have access to anything on the ground out there, so you have to use satellite internet. And it was doo-doo in the poo-doo. And I hope Musk, he is not taking a cue from the Navy, because they did not do it right.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that he's not doing because I'm hoping I'm not getting overly excited and optimistic about this because it may end up being a complete flop. But so far,
He might not ever even get it off the ground. You might not ever get enough satellites out there. You never know.
Yeah,
that's kind of what guys like this do.
They shoot big and hope for the best is essentially what he's doing. But if it works, it does everything he's hoping it to be doing. I can end up deploying the bum middle of nowhere. Sorry,
you really tried to control your swearing, weren't you?
And good, still buddy. Have the same. I know. I'm trying. I'm growing. I'm learning. But like I said, I could be deployed in the middle of nowhere, as a lot of us who are in the military, like our regiment guys. You'll still be able to have the same speed internet as if you were home, and that's awesome. And not even to mention that, like all these organizations like Greenpeace and the Red Cross that go all through these third world countries to help with disaster relief and to help with suffering civilizations and stuff, they'll be able to do their jobs easier because they'll have more, in theory, if this works the way he wants it to work, more reliable and efficient internet. And they will help them with a lot of things out there.
I mean, just imagine the kind of difference it would make to third world countries that don't have Verizon Fios and Google Fiber trying to lay lay cords in their ground. Like just being able to access it there would be revolutionary. Yeah,
it could change. It could literally change. I mean, the internet changed the world. This could take it that step further.
Yeah, internet's still changing the world, and this could definitely do that. The other thing I was going to mention is that I know we've talked about Elon Musk and the things that he does before and how he's always done it with the motivation of looking to the future. And like you said, he wants to colonize Mars. Well, I imagine that the reason he's doing this at all is as a setup for how to get internet on Mars.
That's true.
That's what they would have to do. They would have to do some sort of satellite internet on Mars if it's ever colonized. So that's a cool way to think about it too, is that this is sort of a beta test for Mars internet.
And from what I understand too, is Mars has got a pretty nasty weather system. I think it's more severe than ours. And if he might be using Earth's mild in comparison weather system as a test bed to see how effective he can get this internet to work through even the worst of storms here. Then the mildest of storms on Mars, the internet should still in theory work. So yeah, almost everything he's done has been a way to help. He's using what he's doing here on Earth to help as a test bed to what he actually wants to do on Mars. The boring tunnel, Tesla, SpaceX, and yeah, there's a really good chance that this Starlink is on the same platform.
Yeah, pretty cool. We live in a crazy age that we're even thinking about stuff like this.
and it's awesome. It's scary to think about in a way. And to be honest,
kind of crazy.
Now,
I'm sad. I feel like I was born a generation too early. I want to see what's happening in the future.
That's very true. Who knows? Maybe cryo freezing and other medical sciences may let you live longer if you really want to do that.
Maybe I could web chat with a nude alien.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I like how your brain went to science and my brain went to smut.
Your favorite captain was Kirk, wasn't it?
Yes, he was. His three booped companions.
The last thing I was really going to mention, I mean, I can talk about this all day too, but the last thing I was going to mention about this is that I was looking at, they were talking about the construction of the satellites, and they're ion driven. Their engines are ion driven, which is fascinating. Ion drives have been looked into as viable long distance space travel. So this may be another way for Elon to test this out for space travel. But the really thing I get kick out is his love for quirky names. Apparently, Krypton's a real thing because they're Krypton fuel ion drives.
Don't make yourself sound stupid. Krypton is a gas. Everybody knows.
I did not know that. I did not know that. So I will own up to that one that I sound stupid.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it does sound ridiculous when you think about it. But yeah. Yeah. Well, what's cool about it is my understanding of rocket science, which is quite extensive, I might add. I am very, very smart. Was and I read about this on the website too, so don't think I'm just talking out of my butt. Is that usually an engine like that uses xenon gas, and that's how they've been doing it for years. And Xenon's kind of been the way to go. By the way, there was a game I used to play when I was a kid called Space Quest, and the home planet in Space Quest is called Xenon. So that's how I know about Xenon. But anyway, Space Quest for life. Yeah. So the cool thing about Krypton and the reason that they're using it is that it's cheaper. I don't know why it's cheaper. I don't really understand that aspect of it, but I think that it's cool that they have found a way to make this more cost effective for them, because that's going to be huge, especially when they want to launch 12,000 satellites. Getting cheaper way to power their engines on those satellites is pretty important. So that's neat.
And probably more renewable fuel. I mean, they're going to have a single solar panel, whereas most satellites have at least two. So he's smaller, more efficient. In fact, I'm reading on this article by The Verge. They were talking about that Elon. See, Elon, he's smart. He may be crazy, but he's smart. He's starting a rideshare program with his Falcon 9 rockets.
Yeah. Definitely crazy. Definitely.
Another company piggybacked on
rideshare. What does that mean?
Other companies can put their satellites on the Starlink satellite launches. So Elon can launch his 58. They talked about this William Marshall on the Verge article on it. They show a Twitter post that says, launch success, all 3 SkySats in orbit and contacted by ground stations. 10 minutes to space, 12 minutes to separation, 18 minutes for first ground station contact. And he says, thank you, SpaceX and Elon Musk, for the beautiful ride. Here are 2 SkySat separating up at top the Starlinks too. So you're like, this video shows not only SkySat separating, but then you see the Starlink starting to do their separation. So I guess that's one the way Elon's going to fund these is he'll say, hey, you guys want to launch a satellite? Pay me this much. We'll throw your satellites on board. I'll launch my 58 Skylinks, and you launch how many you need to launch.
Unless he blows them up.
It's the beauty of unmanned, man.
Yeah.
And then
that's great. That's very cool. And that's a great way to, for other people to get out there when they can't really, they don't have the means the way he does. So that's good.
And this is all coming from the ability to be able to commercialize space exploration. When NASA and the government had absolute control, none of this would have been possible because there have been so many regulations, so much red tape, and they were limited by taxpayer funds, where companies, if they're as successful as SpaceX and Elon Musk with Tesla and all his other companies, they, as long as they manage it well, technically have not really unlimited funding, but they have better funding than the government would. And they're not as limited, so they get to be more innovative with their research and stuff. So then they mentioned on here the Starlink will be open to beta testing in the United States later this summer. Summer hasn't started yet, so I'm probably thinking end of July, beginning of August time frame is probably when they'll start having beta testing available. So
cool.
It's probably going to be major cities are going to probably be the first ones to be able to do it, is my assumption.
Yeah. And that would follow suit with how it's happened in the past as well. But it might just depend on where those satellites happen to be.
Yeah.
You never know how a satellite gets. I mean, I'm sure somebody knows, but we don't know where the satellites are going up there. So have to see.
Yeah. So it's interesting. It's exciting if you're unable to leave wherever you're living and you have the absolute worst internet. Maybe you're still on DSL, maybe even dial-up. I've heard cases of dial-up still existing in some areas.
What's wrong with you people? Move out of your cabins in the woods and find real internet.
So they may not have to. Starlink works.
It's true. That's true. We could have we could be raising a generation of hermits because they go live in the woods with their Starlink internet. We never see them again.
I've heard more and more people saying they want to get a cabin in the woods or a van down by the river just to get away from everything that's going on right now. So who knows?
Yeah.
Granted, being connected to things like Twitter and Facebook will defeat the purpose of trying to get away from everything because it's going to be in your face all the time. But hey, whatever. Yeah.
As long as nobody's touching you and passing you the COVID.
Exactly. There you go. Social distancing to the max. So
6 feet to 60 miles. Get away.
So I mean, I'm excited, especially because I'm not blessed like JD with Verizon. So
yeah, it's cool, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I got my FiOS, keeps me company, keeps me warm at night. I like to curl up next to my network switch, just kind of pet it a little bit. Think about how fast my speeds are.
I hope Starlink is as reliable, more reliable than FiOS, and that it's cheaper, so that I can enjoy that and remember this moment. He's about to speed test me.
Doing something right now. Oh, it's really slow right now.
You're streaming right now. You probably got something else going on.
It's really slow. It's at like 200 megabits. I'm not going to show it. I'm embarrassed now.
That's actually worse than mine right now.
Oh, no. Yeah, but look at this upload speed.
No.
The upload. I love the best part about FiOS is that the upload
is the upload.
That's crazy.
Actually, that's a good thing to
it's a good faster. My upload was faster than my download.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
That's actually a good thing though that you pointed that out. One of the best things about Starlink, I'm assuming it will have matched upload and download speeds like fiber would. I'm assuming. I could be wrong. And if it does, that will help content creators a lot. They will have less struggles with streaming and even YouTube video uploads. I remember before I got the internet I have now, and I didn't upgrade much. I went from 30 megabytes for upload to 40. Woo. But I used to have to literally upload a video to YouTube before I go to bed, click upload, go to bed, wake up, and see it finish. So
yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that'd be great if that's true. We'll see.
And hopefully no data caps because Cox is horrible.
Yeah. All right, that's it for these topics.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's do our outro. You got anything for the outro?
I'm gonna shell out a little bit. So Regiment, the group that JD and I have mentioned a few times that we're a part of, is a veteran / active duty group. They even gaming group. They're mainly content creators, but they also, there's some people in there just in there to hang out and game and relate to people that have gone through similar experiences. Some of them are even family members, 2 military members, but that's actually not what the promotion about. The promotion is they are partnered with G Fuel energy drink.
Oh man, come on!
And
this is lame.
I know it's lame, but I want to help them out. If you use code Regiment, you get 30% off your next purchase. So, and if G Fuel is hinted at, if we can get people to use our code enough, they may do specialized flavors and like shakers and stuff for Regiment to do giveaways with. So that's the only way I'm promoting it. Only reason why I'm promoting it. I know it's cheesy and lame, but I want to help out. The whole 2 viewers, I just added 2 whole viewers to the Regiment's
Pretty much
cause.
The only person listening to this podcast is me when I edit it. That's it.
But that's all I have. Just stay safe, be careful out there, stay healthy, wash your hands.
You guys want to contact us? We got our Twitters. I always put them in the episode descriptions, and you can use hashtag NTWP to talk to us, send us stuff, send us stories if you want to talk about them or ask us questions. We're happy to answer questions about our military lives, or gaming stuff, whatever you want. And that's all I got too.
I actually, one last thing. I kept saying you guys can DM me. Nope, I'm gonna do it. I kept saying you guys can DM me. The good thing is I'm fairly certain none of you have tried. Apparently my DMs were locked, so if you tried, you weren't gonna get through. So they are open now.
Do you know how many pictures of my nethers that I've sent you, and now they've all just been rejected?
Yep. So I apologize, people. Hey, you can't do that now. Twitch is under fire right now with stuff like that, so careful.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
So
it's rude.
That's all I got. This is 15 episodes, which is actually it's not that amazing to most podcast world, but to me it's a big deal. We made it 15 episodes, almost 2 months. So that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. All right. We will see you next week for episode 16, and hopefully it will start on time and my son won't puke all over the kitchen floor. Yay!
Excited.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Later, everybody. Bye.